Ernie and I were born in Marshall, Arkansas. That's Searcy County. December 26, 42. It was just in a house. It wasn't in a hospital or anything. It was my grandmother's house. She gave birth to Earl, and the doctor packed up all of his equipment and started to leave. And one of my grandmothers said, well, something's just not right here, you know. I'll be darned if they didn't find Ernie. In fact, they claimed they put me in an oven overnight because they didn't think I was going to make it. I mean, they didn't have the gas on, but
yeah.
I mean, it kept him, you know, like an incubator. We used to have one of those big wooden radios, like a Zenith or whatever. It used to sit over there, and I remember Ernie and I used to sit on the floor and listen to the Grand Ole Opry on that big old radio. That's 12-inch speaker or whatever. You could actually hear the bass fiddle.
Sure.
that was cool. My dad had traded a walnut log or something for an old guitar, and they only had 2 strings on top, and Earl and I were fighting over who could play it. And we would actually could pick out a little bit of so he got strings for it. There used to be an upright piano right there for years, you know, and that's kind of what, you know, we kind of learned to play keyboard a little bit. Ernie, he was playing guitar at first, you know. So that sounded good to have the piano too. But I remember every time we'd come home from church, that's the first place we'd go, and we'd go straight from church to playing rock and roll.
Is that right? I mean, in the house. I mean, did someone else play the piano in the house?
No, my dad played banjo a little bit, but he never could quite get it right.
So y'all didn't have any lessons or anything?
Not really. Well, there used to be people in the community. They'd have square dances, right? And we'd go watch the guys playing for the square dancers because it's real loud music, you know, guitar and fiddle. We'd watch them. Was your mom as interested in going out and doing the square dancing too? I mean, yeah, my mom and dad, they both did. The players are probably the babysitters for us, because they could let us sit there and watch those guys play, and they'd get up and square dance. Yeah, I kind of blame the Everly Brothers for everything. Because the two of us, we can sing this, and that really got us going, you know. Before that, we were doing mostly country music.
Well,
and
that's
then, of course, some
radio.
Elvis and Ricky Nelson, and then the Bo Diddley and Buddy Holly and stuff.
So where would you hear these guys play? I mean, you were too young to get in the bars. We'd have to go and stand outside, listen through the back. At the Rockwood had this huge fan, you know, that you could see. You could see the back of the players' heads. Yeah. Get smoke out, but of course it made music go. Yeah. So you learned your music through Leslie. So I got Leslie cabinet on the vocals. We graduated from high school. A friend of ours said, "Boy, the Rockwood Club, y'all guys ought to play down there." So we actually went down and played our first nightclub gig there. 17. And after we started listening to all that kind of music with Ray Charles and the R&B, and that we were sold, and that's what we wanted to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just had so much heart to it, so much, you know. Really love that stuff. You know, when you're a kid growing up and you watch American Bandstand, and you know, you kind of think, well, someday might be on there. Sure enough, we were on there. You know. I mean, it was a long trip there, but once you kind of got there, you didn't really think about it like, whoa, we've made it, you know. And it's just surreal to be there. Actually, you know, you're on the other side of the camera, and Dick Clark's talking to you, and you must be a dreamer or something. It's just a weird feeling, you know. But that's one, you know, you say you did that, I guess. Of course, when we were young kids, we watched them on TV, you thought, boy, if we ever make it to American Bandstand, we'd make it, you know. Yeah. But once you get there, it's not like, you know, you don't feel exhilarated, like, oh man, we made it. You know, just seemed like, oh, it's another gig. Yeah.
So when you weren't touring, you were still living in Northwest Arkansas?
Oh yeah. We never even entered our mind to move anywhere else or let's stay in LA or New York. We just didn't even think about it. We played a lot of shows with big name groups. That wasn't as much fun or as, you know, as exciting as just working with Levon. And when you play with me, it makes you play different. You just play better. It just makes you something right. I don't understand. You don't feel like you have to do anything extra to make it sound right. You just feel like it's there. You know, you just play. You know, it makes you want to play. Levon had all these friends in the movie business or whatever, and you never knew who was going to show up. Like one night in New York at the Lone Star, Rip Torn, Tommy Lee Jones, and Dennis Hopper, all three showed up at the same time to the gig, right?
Yeah.
So they're in the dressing room, you know, partying.
And as near as I can tell, you've pretty much sounded the way you started. I mean, and you are who you are, and there's no real pretension about that. Is there?
Yeah, I always tried to be that way. I mean, wanted to be that way. Just wanted to try to stay to myself. You know, not try to copy just somebody else.
And
I have a
think
lot of
you
influences. I mean,
succeeded
there was a time when I wanted every note to be Ray Charles.
Well,
Finally realized you can't do that. You know.
there aren't many singers that don't wish they were.
Well,
Ray Charles.
exactly. I mean, everybody, but
Yeah.
and you can't ever accomplish that. So
Right.
you just have to do what you can do.
Lightning in the black night, rained it from my bed. Threw away my chains, turned the love instead. Recovered soul, I was down so long. Recovered soul, my whole life was wrong. The power of love made me twice as strong. And learning on nothing can stop my recovered soul. Recovered soul. Recovered soul. Recovered soul. Thank you.